Today I'm going to talk about feeding my sourdough starter, how I keep it, how I maintain it, and how often I use it. And I also have a potato flake sourdough starter, which is an Amish, generally an Amish sourdough starter that I use all the time, and how I keep it, how I feed it, and I'll tell you how to make one if you don't have one. And in some future videos, I'm going to be making some bread using this potato flake starter because it is my favorite sandwich bread. And I just want to show it to you here. So I just took this out of the refrigerator. If I could describe the smell, it's a very good smell. It kind of smells, if you've ever smelled kombucha, it has that kind of smell. That alcohol, you can smell a little bit of the naturally created alcohols. When something ferments, you can smell that. It's not a yucky smell at all. It's not a smell that's going to make you gag or anything like that. It's a really good smell, especially if you like fermented foods. But this is my potato flake starter. This was fed. I fed it. I left it on the counter for a few days, and then I realized I wasn't going to have time to make bread anytime soon, so I just stuck it in the fridge. So it's very hungry. There's not a lot of bubbly action or anything going on because it's very hungry. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pour off all but probably a cup or less of this starter. I always stir it up first because those potato flakes sink to the bottom. So I stir it up first, and then I just pour it off. And so according to this mason jar, that is just under 1 cup, and that is what I want. I want to keep that. That is what I am going to feed and store right here. And then this starter, that's more than I'll probably use today, but I can put it in the fridge and use it later. I'm going to use it to make bread either today or tomorrow. Now I'm going to show you how that I feed this starter. So I have this little saucepan here. What I'm going to do is it has measurements on the inside. I'm going to put in a little more than a cup of water into this saucepan. The measurements do not have to be precise. If you have one of these potato flake sourdough starters, I have seen different measurements just all over the board, so it does not have to be precise. This is 1/4 of a cup of potato flakes, and I usually put a little more. So that's probably 1/3 of a cup of potato flakes, and then stir it up. And when you buy your potato flakes, make sure that you are buying just dehydrated potatoes. They don't have anything else in them, because there are potatoes out there, like I think Hungry Jack is a brand, and some others that have all kinds of stuff in them, you know, to flavor your potatoes and make them buttery and all of that. You don't want that for your potato flake starter. You want plain dehydrated potato flakes. That's all you want, and that's what we use. So I put this into my water, and then I also need 1/4 of a cup of sugar. So here I have my 1/4 of a cup of white sugar, and I add that in. And that also, the measurements do not have to be exact. Basically, you want water, potato flakes, and sugar. And we're going to stir that around, and now I'm going to put this on the stove, and I'm going to bring that to a good boil. Once that comes to a boil, then I'm going to turn it off and let it cool down, and we will feed our potato flake starter with it. So let me set this over here while that is coming to a boil. So I got this cookbook. It's called Treasured Keepsake Recipes. It says it's a collection by the Nolt family, and they're from Spencer, Tennessee. But I got this cookbook in Kentucky at an Amish store where I go to regularly. They sell potato flake sourdough bread there. They have a bakery, and they make the bread and sell it. And I asked them one day if they sold the starter, and they do. They will sell you a cup of the potato flake sourdough starter. And I said, do you have the recipe that you use? And she showed me this cookbook. So I talked to the lady in the back that actually baked the bread. So she turned to, and you can see my page in my cookbook is all stained up because I use it all the time. And in the cookbook, it tells you the sour bread starter, sourdough bread starter, it has how to make one. It says to use 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of instant potatoes, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and 1 cup of warm water. But she told me to leave out the yeast. You know, she gave me, I bought a starter. I also made my own because I wanted to know if I could make my own starter. So basically you do what I did here. And like I said, the measurements are not, they do not have to be precise. You need a cup of water, you need some potato flakes, and you need some sugar. I've seen some recipes where people add salt and they add yeast to this starter, and it takes a cup. I'm not sure even how long it takes, probably not that long, a day or so, and then they can make bread out of it. But that starter is not one you can keep like this. My potato flake starter, I keep it just like I do my regular sourdough starter. It does not die, and I just feed it and I keep it in the fridge. And you can do that too by starting off by making this mixture like I've got here that you feed your starter with. So I'm going to let this come to a boil, and the reason for that is not to kill off anything, but it is to break down those potato flakes and the starch in those potato flakes so they can be easily digested, I guess, by the bacteria in the potato flake starter. So that has come to a boil, and I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to take it off of the heat because I want it to cool. I'm just going to let that sit there and let that cool, and when it comes down below 100 degrees, then I can add it to my potato flake starter to feed it. While that's mixing, I'm going to take the temperature of my starter here, and it is down to 100 degrees. So now I can add it to my original starter. Just pour it in, stir it up. I like to stir it really good to get the air bubbles down in there because air is good. And just going to take the lid and set it on top and let it sit over here. I was clear on how to make your own potato flake starter. Get you a cup of water, 1/4 of a cup of potato flakes, and 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Put it in a small saucepan, bring it to a boil, and let it cool. At that point, after it cools, you're going to put it in a jar. Like you can use a mason jar like I have here, or here my sourdough starter's in a weck jar. You can use any kind of jar you want to use. I don't recommend using plastic just because you're adding warm stuff to it. It's sitting on the counter, it's fermenting, and who knows what leaches out of that plastic, and we don't want that. So use glass. But it could be an old pickle jar, an old jelly jar. You just want to make sure it's at least a quart, big enough to handle what you're putting in there. Now, sourdough starter does, potato flake sourdough starter does not rise up out of the jar like this regular starter does. It doesn't rise up. It bubbles and foams, but it doesn't rise up and double in size and all of that in the jar. So you don't have to worry about it coming out of the jar. You do want a little bit of space because it does foam. You're going to put that on your counter once you mix this up, and you're going to let it sit there on the counter. You can put a lid on it, but don't tighten it. It needs air. So that's why weck jars are really good, because you can just lay that glass lid on top of there. But if you're using a regular jar, just lay the lid on top of it, or put a cloth over top of it to keep gnats or anything out. And you just let it sit on your counter, and every day, as many times a day as you want, 3-4 times a day is fine, but once a day is enough. Go and stir that starter up. Just stir it up really good, get some air down in there. And after about, it's different for everyone, and it depends on your house, how warm it is, how cool it is, and lots of other factors. But probably after 2 or 3, 4 days, you're going to start to see some foaming and some bubbling, especially after you stirred it. It's going to get all foamy and bubbly, and that means your starter is now alive. That's when you want to feed it, and you're going to do it just like this. You're going to make that same mixture. You're going to let it cool down to at least 100 degrees or cooler, and you are just going to pour that right in to your starter and stir it up, and you should see some action. And then I would let that set for 1 or 2 days, and stir it every day. And then you're going to want to pour off all but a cup and do that again. And when you do that, you see that it's starting to bubble up and foam. So at this point, what I would recommend doing is put it in the refrigerator for a few days. After you feed it that second time, let it sit on the counter for a couple of hours and then put it in the refrigerator for a few days. Then take it out, pour off all but a cup, and feed it again. And you should have a very active, nice smelling starter. This potato flake sourdough starter can be used to make bread without yeast. You use it almost exactly like I use my regular sourdough starter, but you don't have to. So I actually talked to the lady at the Amish store who made their bread, and they sell their bread, and it has yeast. It has sourdough starter and yeast listed on the ingredients, and she said that they have to add yeast to theirs. I have made it both ways. So if you make it without the yeast, you have to let it set overnight to rise, and then the second rise, when you punch it down and shape it and put it in your loaf pans, the second rise usually takes all day. You get a different texture of bread and flavor of bread because it has been rising all that time. The way I use mine, because I love the texture and the flavor, is I use the starter. I use a half a cup of starter in my liquid when I'm making bread, and then I add the same amount of yeast that I normally would, and I just make the bread normally. And hopefully I will have a video coming really, really soon to show you how I do that. It's our favorite sandwich bread. It is soft, it stays fresh for a long time, it stays soft, and it's delicious. It has a hint of sweetness, but yet it's a sourdough. Be sure and check the description box of this video, and I'll give you the recipe for the starter and the recipe for the bread that I make. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you with your sourdough starters. Please leave me some comments below. Let me know what you liked, what you'd like to see more of. Hit that like button. It really helps. And subscribe if you have not already done so. God bless. Bye-bye.